Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com with our weekly live Q&A. So I do this one every single week, and I answer the questions from our YouTube channel members and our Patreon supporters. They've been able to submit questions in advance, and also we are live here on YouTube. So I can see we've got Matt here in the live chat. If you can hear me, just make sure you let me know. Yeah, so like I said, we do this one every single week, and you can also send in questions if you become a member, and also if you use the super chat function, all of which helps fund the website. It funds all the software that we use, all the hosting, etc. So it all helps towards all of that. Lots of questions today. Lots of stuff with, there's been a lot of news this week. Obviously with D23 and Disney Plus Day coming up. Kelly said he can hear me. That's great. So, like I said, I'm just going to give a quick little bit of housekeeping if you haven't already done so. If you haven't done so, check out yesterday's podcast. You'll find it on the YouTube channel. Probably do it after the live stream, where me and James talk about all of this week's news. Also today, I did put up an interview with the main actor, Gavin, from the brand new Disney Plus British original wedding season. So if you could check that one out, that would be fantastic. It was a really great interview. So I'd really like everyone to sort of check that out. That would be great. See a few people in there. We've got Willie in here. What's up? Hi there. We've got Knoxwave. We've got Caleb. We've got Matt. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'll be jumping in and out between the questions. If you haven't already done so, make sure you also subscribe here on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And I would really suggest following me on Twitter at Disney Plus News to keep up with all the latest, especially with the D23 Expo, because that's where I'll probably, if I'm just doing little things, that'll be where it will be. Also, we got the new, any new articles and stuff go up. So definitely would say, definitely check out us over on social media. Also, I'm going to say it now, with September, the schedule is going to be a little bit different than normal for the Q&A. Next Sunday, I'm going to do an hour earlier. I'm going to do an extended live Q&A, and I'm going to open it up to everyone. So everyone's going to be, as long as you're a subscriber, it's going to be available to everyone that's a subscriber. And it's kind of going to be like our Disney Plus Day D23 kind of pre-game, so you can ask questions. So that one's going to be available to everyone next week. The following week for D23, there won't be a live stream because I'm going to be in California. The following week, we'll do a live one, and then there'll be a pre-recorded one because I'm having a weekend off. So, yeah, so that's going to be great. So definitely jump into all of that. So let's jump into some of the questions. So let's start off first off with the title one. Actually, that wasn't the title one. That was another one from Kayla. So I'll do that one in a minute. So Babak says, why doesn't Disney live stream the D23 on Disney Plus to offer its subscribers an exclusive? And Khaled also asked two questions, one of which was, could you see Disney Plus live streaming the panel? And we'll jump back to Khaled's in a minute after that. So we do know that they are going to be live streaming some of the D23. So they have given out a live stream. You can find this over at D23.com. We've got the full rundown. Now, in terms for Disney Plus subscribers, which is going to be the main ones to look out for, we've got the Disney Legends Awards ceremony taking place on the Friday morning. So that one, there could be something. I'm hoping there might be, but generally it's like a Hall of Fame kind of thing. So yeah, that one's going to be pretty cool. Also, ones to look out for on the Saturday is going to be Disney's Epic Entertainment Showcase, the musical, The Extravaganza, which is going to be full of information from Disney branded television. So I suspect we are going to see some stuff from Santa Clauses, the National Treasure series, maybe High School Musicals, and maybe some things with Mysterious Benedict Society, Big Shot, things like that. Although maybe even Percy Jackson, if they're going to show off a little bit, that might be the place where they do it. And that is going to be live stream. So that one's probably the best one for Disney Plus subscribers. And then another one to watch is going to be the Disney theme parks and experiences and products presentation, which takes place on Sunday. Important to note, there is no live stream of the studio showcases. The one that's going to be taking place on the Friday afternoon at the D23 will include the Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and Pixar. The one on Saturday morning is Studios Showcase 2, and that's going to include Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios. So those two panels are not going to be live streamed. So there'll probably be information coming out onto social media and stuff. I know the Pixar one, they're being a little bit more stricter with us on cameras. So yeah, don't expect too much They are going to be doing live streams from other panels and stuff. So there's a Bob's Burgers one afternoon, so we might get a little bit more. So as far as live streaming it, I do think they should put it onto the Disney Plus. I think it would be a good test to maybe do before the Dancing with the Stars. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. But also, primarily, it's going out on social media. So it's going out Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Because they're trying to get it out to as many people as possible and to make it free and to make it on all the social medias. That's what they're doing it for. It's not an exclusive. They don't really want it as an exclusive thing because they want everyone to have access to it. But I personally would have liked to have it streamed on Disney Plus. Also, as well, it might be an issue technically with trying to do it globally. They might not be able to do it the same way. But I think it would have been a really, really, really good call to actually have done that one. Kelly just asked, I get why they don't make the D23 live streams exclusive to Disney Plus, since it would be like the WWE kickoff shows where they try and keep a live feed open to everyone as an incentive to subscribe. That is it. You've got to look at it. This is definitely about trying to get more people in, trying to get definitely people in on that on there. So that's why we're not going to see that on there. As far as thoughts on the official Disney Plus Day announcements, we know what's going to be coming on the day. So they have confirmed that we're going to be getting a lot of new content. Pinocchio will be dropping on that Thursday. We're also going to be getting Cars on the Road. There's going to be a Dancing with the Stars, the Pro's Most Memorable Dances. That's only in the US and Canada. Epic Adventures with Bertie Gregory. That's a new National Geographic series. Frozen Sing-Along 1 and 2. Growing Up. Also getting a 4th episode of She-Hulk. Thor Love and Thunder will be dropping. The assembled episode of that one. Obi-Wan Kenobi, A Jedi's Return. There's also going to be a short called Remembering, but that one looks like it's only going to be in the US because there's like an augmented reality app that you're going to be able to use with it. There's also a new short from The Simpsons, Terra Incognita, and also internationally Wedding Season. And I'm going to be honest, that is a great show. I've got reviews coming up pretty soon for Wedding Season, Cars on the Road, and also Bertie Gregory. So keep an eye out for them coming in too. So yeah, as far as other announcements, I've seen a lot of articles going up recently over the weekend with people giving their predictions of what's going to be announced on Disney Plus Day, and I really am just like cringing because nowhere in any of the press releases that Disney have sent out have they mentioned any announcements or things like that are going to be coming on the day. They're kind of leaning away from that because they've got the D23 Expo. But I think there could be some announcements. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they said, like, National Geographic's coming back, or this show's been renewed for a second season. Just a small little bites. There might be some little bits and pieces. But please, with Disney Plus Day, go in with no expectations of any announcements or trailers. And if you get something, that'll be great. If you're going in expecting an Investors Day on Disney Plus Day, you're going to be really disappointed because you might not get any announcements. It might just be, here's all this new content, and we've got all this stuff happening at the theme parks and at the cruise lines and on Disney Store, and there's going to be probably some special offers and some bits and pieces. Just go in with that idea that Disney Plus Day is not the same as it was last year. It's not about that one. Let's see here. Kayla also said, I'm glad that Brie Larson is not only getting a docuseries on Disney Plus, but a short film. Meanwhile, my favorite actor, Shahrukhh Khan, is mostly doing Disney Plus ads for India. Would be nice if they added some more content. Yes, we could get some different kind of things coming in there. Anything else regarding live streams there? Let's carry on. So we have got... So this question's come up from Matt, and I actually think he's put it in the live chat as well. Is there going to be an announcement of a Hulu merger at D23? I don't think so, on a couple of different levels. I don't think that Hulu are going to be doing the announcement then, because if they were to do it, it might make more sense to do it on Disney Plus Day, but I'm honestly not expecting anything like this. This whole weekend is about boosting up Disney, and a Disney Plus Hulu announcement isn't going to make a lot of sense when they've got a massive, great big Hulu pavilion that's going to be set up there. There's going to be a Disney bundle stage being set up, and there's activations for like some of the Hulu originals, like the Kardashians and stuff. So it would be very kind of like odd for them to have built an entire stage and a pavilion full of old stuff with Hulu and stuff, and then just to kind of go, well, we're going to cancel it today, or we're going to ending it. I'm also not sure they are going to just dump Hulu and I merge it in. I think what they're going to do is they're going to build up Disney Plus with more stuff and just let Hulu slide off to the side and then do something maybe in 2024. All the announcements they've been making about Hulu and bits and pieces and new deals, while I would love that announcement to happen at Disney Plus, I just can't see it happening at the D23 Expo. Also, it's a very much more of a business thing, and it might have a negative reaction on stock. It might have a positive reaction. It might also alienate some customers. It might not. So I'm not generally expecting too much on that side of thing. Caleb says, I don't see the Hulu merging because recently they signed a new pay one deal. Tells me Hulu isn't going anything and more content will be shared. I think more content will be shared. I feel like that deal, I mean, they could have a provision in there that they can put it on to Disney Plus if they wanted to, but I feel like Hulu is probably still going to be around for most of 2023. On a side note, BK Dan says, question, do you think Disney will move all of their content currently on Hulu onto the US, onto Disney Plus, and create a Star tab with parental controls? Well, we don't really need to worry about parental controls because the US has already got them. As far as a Star tab, I do think Disney is going to need that Star tab for generic stuff, third-party stuff. They're going to need somewhere to kind of as a catch-all bin. But I'm hoping at some point in the future we actually get like a 20th Century hub and an FX hub and an ESPN hub and maybe like an ABC hub. You know, give us like a bit of an extension. But yeah, I think that by the looks of it, they're probably going to be getting sharing stuff. I think that's how they're going to be doing stuff. Right. Carrying on with this one, Mao says, do you think the reason that the UK shows didn't mention that the USA is that they don't know what Disney Plus in the US will be next year? This actually did catch me off guard. There was a few Disney Plus original announcements this week for the UK, and they mentioned Star Plus in Latin America, but there was no mention of Hulu in any of it. And that was a little bit like, really? Why have you not mentioned it? Now, it could be that those shows haven't got US, or they're trying to work out where they're going to go. And they don't want to announce that just yet. I did seem a little bit suspicious of being missing from at least 2 or 3 press releases, but I don't know. It seemed a little bit odd. Matt says, why are they not adding more mature content in Disney Plus in the US? So there's probably, for me, 2 major reasons. Major reason number 1 is the ad tier. I believe they're going to wait and add a lot more when the ad tier comes in to make it look like you're getting more value for when that price dollar goes up. They'll also make more money per ad when more people are watching like big shows and stuff. So if they start putting some more TV shows on there, they'll make more money from the ad revenue. Putting it on now actually wouldn't really help there. So I do think they need to put a few things on. The second reason is I think they have gone with the approach of slowly on Disney Plus to get people used to the idea that there's more stuff going on there. There's been very slowly they've been doing it. And it kind of feels a little bit like the old idea of, you know, if you've got a pot and you put, say, like, you know, you're cooking a frog if you're in France, because this is obviously in France that you eat frog's legs. They do taste quite nice. And so if you put a frog in a pan with cold water and you boil it up, the frog will stay there. If you put a frog straight into hot water, it will jump out. And I believe my gut feeling is with the US, they're playing it much more safely than they did internationally, because the Disney brand is very different in the US than it is internationally. I don't think it's quite got the same connection. But yeah, I definitely feel like that's a way of going forward. Matt says, is Rookie Cops coming to Disney Plus in the US? I don't know. I don't think there's no mention of it. It could be a surprise release. They might do it. It's coming to Canada and in the UK next month. I'll be checking that one out because there seem to be a lot of people really excited about that one. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, they did it with Snowdrop, but it would make sense for them to do it. Tracy says, when you go to the D23, can you find out anything about the Miraculous Season 5 English dub premiere date? So this is the kind of information. There could be something in the Disney branded television because they are including stuff from the Disney Channel. But because this isn't actually a Disney product, they might be less likely to announce anything. I'll keep my eyes open, and obviously if anything gets announced, I will be putting it up on the website. Tracy also asks, Roger, how does the new Disney Plus ad tier fit in with my current Sky subscription? Will Sky be offering this, or will they stick with the ad-free version? So we don't really know how the international version, it is coming next year. No date has been planned, no price has been planned. I suspect we will get notice, and you will be asked if you want to move over to whichever plan. They will move you over. They're not going to be like, I don't think they'll keep the way they did it with the star price rise. My gut will be what I would suggest when they announce this price rise, whatever the date is going to be, make sure you take out an annual subscription before the date kicks in to save money for a year. And it's the same thing to all the US folks. If you're on a monthly plan right now, before the ad tier comes in the beginning of December, take out an annual plan, and then you'll lock in that price for a year. So we've got a few here from Lady Jennifer Stone. I just realized I've just moved that one, so I'm going to do that one in a little bit. Okay, let's see where we go. So C-Town said, just read your article on Hulu vying for Batman, or Hulu vying for Batman Caped Crusader. Should Disney streamers go over after HBO animated projects? Imagine the Looney Tunes on movies on Mickey Mouse. See, I think, yeah, this one's such a weird one. I don't think it's a good idea for other streaming companies to go after products that have been either cancelled or have been dropped. It makes more sense to spend that money on creating something that you own. But sometimes it can be a cheap, easy win. Hulu has had DC movies on it before. It's not so connected. Personally, if I was Disney, I wouldn't want to be spending money on my, on DC when I've got all of it. I certainly wouldn't want worldwide rights and put Batman on Disney Plus. I feel like that is just a marketing nightmare. It also is going to cause so much confusion. I just don't think that they should do it. That's my gut on that one. I'd much rather Netflix pick that one up, or maybe Apple TV, because I love the Batman animated series from the 90s, so I'm actually quite interested to see what they do with this one. Matt also says, do you think they'll drop a big surprise movie or show on Disney Plus Day? I don't know. They might add a few like library content maybe, but I'm not expecting anything. The whole point of Disney Plus Day is to kind of get things moving up, and I think putting on a surprise, there's already a really heavy, we've got Fall, we've got Pinocchio, Wedding Season, we've got She-Hulk, you've got all this stuff dropping in. I feel like if you were to drop any more in, it's just going to get lost in it. Kelly said, I remember before HBO Max, DC AU content was on Prime Video. It makes sense to go to Prime Video. I think it could go anywhere. I think it's just Disney Plus. I just don't think it just fits on Hulu. It could get away with it. But yeah, that definitely feels a little bit more interesting to see how that one goes. Remember to keep sending in your questions. We've got about another 20-25 minutes to go. So right, let's jump into this question from Manmoud. Do you think that Disney will do an announcement of a US Disney Plus release of a TV show during a panel at D23 like they did for the Orville at San Diego Comic-Con? Yes, I think that we could do. Now, I was looking here. For example, on the schedule for Disney Plus, let's just close that one down. We got a Bob's Burgers one, and it says here that the cast and creators will break news and have you howling with laughter. So I could quite easily see them say Bob's Burgers is coming to Disney Plus, and also recently they were also even selling Bob's Burgers pins with the Disney logo on it, because they're starting to incorporate The Simpsons. They've just announced the first pin, so we're starting to see a bit more stuff coming in. So I could quite easily see maybe Bob's Burgers getting something there announced during a panel. I'm trying to think which other shows they've got coming in. There's one for The Simpsons. Yeah, I think that one might be my only real guess, really. Maybe also a release date for Limitless, because they've got a panel as well. Matt says, what are they called Hulu getting Batman? What are they called Hulu getting the Batman animated series from Warner Brothers? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me why they would want to spend money on DC content. Right, so Lady Jennifer Snow, she's got a few questions, so let's jump into this one. So in September, NBC will be removing programs from Hulu and putting them on Peacock. It makes sense for Peacock to do this, but won't this depreciate the value of Hulu? Now, I do think you are right in the fact that it will bring down the value of Hulu, but they've also got it's that catch 22. They've now got, if they know that they've only got like 18 months left with before they lose control of Hulu, Comcast will probably be like, we want to get as many people over from there as possible. We know it's coming in. We want to build up our own service. Hulu is whatever's going on there. We're not going to they've got a minimum spend of how much they can make from it. How much in reality they've it's that catch-22. They've got to try and get all their customers over to Peacock from Hulu. Lady Jennifer Snow also said NBC is also considering giving up the 10 p.m. hour back to its local affiliates. If they do this, this will be the second network. Fox already does this to program from 8 till 10. That's 5 hours less per week. I'd be interested to see if ABC and CBS consider doing this, as it's another sign that linear TV is dying. Yeah, I thought this was quite interesting. First off, obviously, it does mean that they can make 5 hours less content a week to go up on the prime time. So it does mean then that they can make more show. They can spread their shows out on them like between 8 and 10, maybe 7 nights a week. They can spread it out a little bit more. They can also make less content, so it's a bit cheaper. But I think also just the idea of sitting there and watching a TV show at a certain time of day is very old-fashioned. People don't do it the same way anymore. And maybe they're just finding the ratings are dropping. I mean, I know here in the UK, usually at 10 o'clock at night, there's a lot of news stuff. There's a lot of news TV going on. They might also have to bring Jimmy Fallon in a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think it's more, I don't think it's so much about, I don't think linear TV is going to completely go away. I think we're going to get to a point where it is still, I mean, at the minute, it's still only, streaming is currently like just over a third of the market compared to broadcast and like cable. So if you put broadcast together with cable, there's still 60+% of people watching live TV. There's still an audience there. I have 5-6 streaming services. I still have broadcast television that I watch as well. But I think that appointment viewing is very different. And maybe they're just, it's just showing where the market is going. It's definitely going. Let's see here. Caleb says, I remember the founder of CCN, so that is Cord Cutting News. Luke mentioned that news and sports are the major factors keeping linear alive, while most of the scripted content goes to streaming. There is something about watching news live, and I watch a lot of news. I watch a number of different networks, and news does feel, it's cheap to make, and you it's like appointment television. At 6 o'clock this news, or actually, at the top of the hour there's every news, and it is cheaper to make. And older audiences tend to watch it more. And yeah, I'm going to be honest. I watch a lot of news, and I will sit there at 10 o'clock and watch the 10 o'clock news and the 6 o'clock news. And in the morning, I'll watch breakfast news television. So I am in that category of I will still watch that as it is. Saying that, when I used to work at my cafe, I actually used, at lunchtime and stuff, I just have put like Sky News live streaming on like YouTube. So yeah, so I used to like watching live. I watch a lot of that. Sport as well is keeping up linear. I think Disney and everyone are aware that they need to have more people are streaming it, because people just aren't paying for cable. They're just not going to do it anymore. We've also got let's see what else we've got. Question here. So Babak says, do you think Comcast moving NBC and Bravo shows from Hulu to Peacock is going to bring down the value of Hulu and end up hurting them when they sell? I don't think it's so, because I think they've got to look after themselves. They've got to get the customers over from Hulu to Peacock for their content, and they're going to have to do it sooner or later. And this way, they've got control over it, and it will bring more people in. Mikey says, with the potential mergers of HBO Max and Discovery Plus, Disney Plus and Hulu, along with Paramount Plus and Showtime, do you think Comcast could do the same thing and merge Stars with Peacock? Well, Comcast don't own Stars, so they would have to buy it, and I don't think they really need to buy Stars. Stars is a bit of an odd one. I don't really know how much longer that one's going to be a holdout, but I could see them merging in some bits and pieces and stuff. Definitely, I think we are going to see probably Paramount Plus and Showtime eventually becoming one. I know they're doing something a bit funny to begin with. Obviously, HBO Max Plus is going to exist, and at some point Disney's going to do it, because it's just people aren't going to subscribe to all these platforms. Babak also says, why do you think that Pinocchio was sent straight to Disney Plus instead of theaters like all the other live actions? You got to remember, when they announced this one way back in 2020, theaters were closed. And they were really pushing at the time that streaming was the future and was their main industry. So at the time, there was no there was no theaters, and they probably didn't want to push it back, and they needed some big, heavy guns to do it. And now I actually think it would be a really good movie to release in cinemas, but they've done this in the past. We saw like with Lady and the Tramp, they've done some stuff, so it's not too bad. But I'm really looking forward to watching that one. Babak says, does Disney make more from traditional viewers, aka TV, than off streaming? Yes. The TV division is making money, while the streaming division is losing money because the money isn't quite kind of. But, you know, they've been in the TV business for a long time, for decades, so they know how to make money there. Connor says, would you consider watching Netflix blockbuster sitcom? I am going to give it a go because I was a kid that used to go to, and a teenager that used to go to Blockbuster all the time and rent stuff. So I have got nostalgia for Blockbuster and the video shop. Okay, so this is the last pre-done question, and then we're going to be on the live ones for the next 20 minutes. So keep getting those live questions in. So, and I have props for this one. So Dana says, would it be beneficial for any of us non-D23 members to purchase a D23 membership now? And what would it get us for perks for the D23 weekend? Right. So if you're not aware of what what D23 is it is the official fan club of Disney. And I'll be honest, I only joined earlier this year. Now, what you do get when you join, you do get, and here's something I prepared earlier, you do get like 4 of these magazines that come out like every few months, and it's a really, really well designed and it's literally the only magazine I read. And that one's pretty good. But it's more of a promotion thing. It's a very promotion. You also get a free gift. So this year, we're getting the Disney Around the World parks. And so in here, you get like a certificate. And so you get a certificate. So there we go. So I have a certificate that I'm officially a member. Not really that much thing. You also get a luggage tag and a pin, which I should remember to put onto my D23 stuff. So you do get a badge and a thing. But also this year you actually got a like a set of pins which represent Disney around the world. So you got like one for Disneyland, one for Walt Disney World, one for the cruise line, Disneyland Paris, one for Hong Kong, one for Tokyo and Shanghai. Now for me, I really like this one because I have been to all of those resorts over the last 20 years. So I really liked having, I'm not a pin person, but I really like that collection. Now, as far as benefits for D23, what this one does do, and I'm going to bring this one up here. So D23 members will receive special benefits throughout the weekend, including exclusive discounts, offers, a commemorative gift, and much more. So you just present your card. Now, the idea with this one here is what I know they haven't out so far. There was some prints. There was a lovely artwork that I think it was Eric Tan did, and it's got like little hidden things in it, like a Kingdom Hearts thing. And so we're going to be getting things like that. They generally give you free stuff. The discounts are really where you can make some. I think there's like some shops are offering like 20% off if you're a D23 member. You also got money off your ticket as well when you bought it. So obviously it's a bit late for that. But yeah, so there are some advantages. I'm going to be honest, I only joined this year because I knew I was planning on going to the D23 Expo, and it was like, it makes sense for me. They also do a number of other events. They got special perks, special screenings if you like in Orlando. So it depends where you are. I think internationally it's a little bit more expensive because of the international shipping. I can't really take advantage of too much of the things, but because I knew I was going to D23, that's why I did it. Yeah, so that's definitely. It was mainly just to save money on the ticket price. Would I like Tracy said? Is it a D23 members weekend for members only? No, anyone can go. Anyone could buy. I mean, you have to buy a ticket. I mean, the tickets are now sold out, so you can't. But if you were a D23 member, you got, I think, early access to the tickets. You also got a discount. But it's basically just but it's thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much. It is definitely interesting to see how they go. Right. So yeah, so there are benefits. I really look into the idea of, are you going to be spending a lot of money at the D23 Expo to get some money off the discounts? Right. Let's go through the live questions. So I'm going to be going down the questions, so keep sending them in. We're going to be doing this for about another 15 minutes. You can also, like I said, you can use the super chat function and things. So Matt says, do you think they will lose subscribers to the ad tier? I think they are going to lose some. I think there's only reality, but then they might pull more people in the future because all the streaming services are all going to have them. People might be more inclined to move on them. Disney, they are going to lose some people, but I mean, they can kind of, for everyone that jumps up to the ad-free tier one is kind of going to wipe out the things, and it's just going to be one of those things. Every streaming service is going to have ads at some point, and it's your choice which ones you want to have at the ad-free tier. Because I mean, it's like today. I mean, I watched a new Sly Stallone movie on Amazon. I mean, if Amazon had ads, I mean, I kind of could say it really. The whole of Amazon is about ads, but I don't watch Amazon enough that I could probably do it. I mean, if I could get, I don't know. I definitely feel like there's a way for it, but I do think they are going to lose people. There's definitely it. Matt also says, what is your prediction for how much content will they add in the US? I don't know if they're going to get, I don't think they're going to get the full like star treatment. I think there'll just be a lot of stuff added, but maybe not at that same level. Knoxway says, I really hope Disney can live stream it. So they are, like I said before at the beginning, they are live streaming the D23 Expo. They are live streaming a couple of the panels, just not the two big studio showcases. Raphael says, looking forward to meeting you at the D23 Expo, and thanks for all of your great information. Yeah, if you see me, just give me a shout, say hello. Obviously, you'll know me, but I won't know you. So just make sure you introduce yourselves. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing people. It's all part of the whole experience. So yeah, there'll be fist bumps. That definitely, if you see me, definitely give me a shout. Knoxwave says, will they reveal any gameplay clips for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine games during the showcase? So there's a live games panel taking place. They could do. I mean, it's a good place to do it. Whether or not they're ready for them, that's going to be the key thing. How far off are these games from being released? And they might focus on more of the loose stuff. But hopefully we get a little sneak peek. Matt says, can't wait to see Call of the Wild. Yeah, that one's coming in the US in it's actually not that bad. I remember when they added it onto Disney Plus. I really enjoyed that one. BK Dan, okay, no, we did that one. Knoxway said, I heard the upcoming MCU series Echo is officially wrapped filming. Yes, it has. The actress, what was it? Can't think of her name. Has put up. It's literally on my to-do list for an article this evening. But yeah, that has finished filming. Yeah, we did that one. And no, we did that one. Okay, so Kayla said, in addition, they recently added an ad for Hulu Live TV where they poke fun at themselves with the plus. Eventually, it's going to be Hulu TV. That's how I definitely feel like Hulu could become the live streaming TV. That platform with maybe like a fast channel, so you get access to certain stuff, and maybe you just get Disney Plus and ESPN Plus within it. We did that one. BK Dan says, when Hulu is devalued from NBC moving shows, do you think that Comcast will sell out their share back to Disney? It really depends on what Comcast are doing. If Comcast are asking for way too much from Disney, maybe Disney have gone like, we want to buy our share off you, and they go, and then Comcast are going, we want this much, and then Disney going like, well, we don't want to pay you that much, so we're just going to wait and get an independent verification. There could be a couple of things coming in. Comcast might be playing hardball and trying to, I wouldn't say cause Disney some issues in the fact of what they can't do with Disney Plus. Maybe they know I could see. I definitely could see if that was me, I'd be in that situation where if I had overhand, I've had a good debt hand against a competitor, you might want to, and they've already got their money locked in, so it's a while off doing. So I definitely feel like that is something that that they might want to do. Baba Trolling says, I think that Disney should make a cut without the LGBT parts of Disney movies on Disney Plus for the people who have religious views. That one's a bit tricky. The trouble is, it was one thing when, they might cut out like a tiny scene because it didn't actually add anything to the story. But for some movies and shows and stuff now, you can't just remove it because it's an essential part of the story, and it kind of gets away from, like four, maybe not four, but say like Doctor Strange, if you take away her parent, her two mums being, that's an important part of the movie. You can't take that out. And as far as like having religious views and stuff, it's that kind of thing of, if you can walk down the street and see, two people, kissing or hugging or walk at that supermarket or anything like that. I don't think you can keep cutting stuff out anymore. I think those days are long gone, personally. Like I say, you could just run into it at a supermarket, and I don't think you can do that anymore. Obviously, in different countries, there are different rules, and Disney has to apply by them, but they can't I don't think they can cut things. It's like with Lightyear. If you cut those scenes out, it devalues the movie, and I don't think the creators will want that. If you can cut it out, then it probably shouldn't have been in there in the first place. But I definitely feel like Disney shouldn't be cutting movies if it's an integral part of the storyline. Tracy said, have they shelved the Zorro project, or is it still going ahead? There isn't anything on this at the moment. They've not announced anything, but the thing is, what tends to happen with like shows and movies is they'll announce that they're making it, and then they will go off and make it. And it could take a year, 2 years. They could be filming it, and then suddenly we see a trailer, but they've done all the editing, all the bits and pieces. The thing is, as well, is like on like the Marvel shows, people are constantly chasing pictures, like Percy Jackson. People are much more interested in some projects than others. Zorro just might not. If no one's taken any pictures and then he shared anything online, you might not necessarily. That's why we've not heard anything about it. So that's definitely a bit of an issue. Matt says, I see Modern Families on Peacock in the US. Yeah, they announced earlier this year that they were sharing it. Speaking of sports, Kelly says Disney in India has recently renewed its deal with the ICC. The IPL is like the MLS, while the ICC is like FIFA due to the factors of the World Cup. I do think this was really good for Disney to kind of continue to get Hotstar stuff, just to continue, keep building that one up. I definitely think that one's really good. Ryan says, did you play the Splatoon 3 demo? No, I've not yet. To be honest, my Switch has sat under the television gathering dust for probably about 18 months now. I just never play it. Between my Xbox and PlayStation, and there's so many games, Nintendo just really hasn't. I don't think I'll probably touch my Switch until the next Zelda movie gets released. Splatoon 2, I wasn't so keen on. I did buy it, but I wasn't so keen on it. But I haven't played it now. BK Dan says, in my opinion, Pinocchio was sent straight to Disney Plus because they didn't want another Black Widow situation. Yeah, I think that one was probably, I don't think it was quite at that time. I think it was just going to be a case of they needed some stuff to boost up Disney Plus. I think that was definitely a thing when they announced this back at Investors Day. Matt says, when do you see the Santa Claus movies coming out on Disney Plus? To Christmas. that's my guess. Okay. I'm guessing, personally, I'd go for December. I'd get it out for December. I don't know if maybe a weekly drop. If it depends how many episodes it is. If it's like 6, maybe go, I don't know, because Thanksgiving, you want to get past Thanksgiving, maybe the end of, I personally would go for December, maybe 2 episodes a week, or I don't know or drop the whole lot at once. But you kind of really want that in December. I mean, they could drop it a little bit earlier and start it in November, because people are in the Christmas mode and stuff once we get past Halloween. So I could see that one coming in. Dana says, will you continue your D23 membership going forward? I don't know. I don't know about next year. I mean, if the gift is really good, then I might keep it going. But I will be honest, without being able to use it at D23 and not being out in the US, not planning on going out to the US next year, I can see why I might not do it, but I probably will do it if the gift is good. I can't see them doing any benefits for Star Wars Celebration, so I am a bit iffy, but it depends on how good that gift is. Tracy said, looking forward to seeing you at Star Wars Celebration next year. Yeah, looking forward to it. Nice Easter break. Going to be a little bit different from D23. I'm really looking forward to the Star Wars Celebration. I did go to one when it was at London last time, but this time I'm going for the whole event. So yeah, keep an eye out for me. BK says, anyway, have fun at the D23. Got to go. Thanks for the updates. Thank you very much for your continued support. And Matt says, do you think we'll hear about a new Star Wars movie coming out of the D23? Lucasfilm have got the studio showcase on the Saturday morning. I think we're going to hear Lucasfilm talk about Indiana Jones. We might get a sneak peek. Maybe also Willow. We'll probably get something new from that one. Maybe Bad Batch 2. Maybe Ahsoka or Mandalorian. It would be good if they did kind of give us like a confirmation of what's happening with the movie. I definitely feel like that's kind of the thing really with that one is I think it would be a good idea for them to get it out of there. And just give us an update on that Rogue Squadron. Okay, Kelly says, I'm mostly sticking with the D23 free membership instead of upgrading to Go since I'm running out of much room for merch. Well, I know how you feel. I mean, I have a pile down here of just like junk. I got cupboards underneath here full of merchandise. I've got so much merchandise. I've got way too much. I need to have a clear out. I've got way too much junk. So I totally understand you with that. And it actually is making me feel going into the D23 Expo of like, I know I want to pick some stuff up, but I'm going with the idea I want to pick up better, like more bigger stuff. I want to get some artwork for here in the office. I've got a big space here ready for some artwork. Maybe might pick up like a hot toy, or I'm kind of thinking maybe get less instead of little stuff like pops and Funkos, and I don't do pins or Vinimations anymore. But yeah, I definitely think like that one there. Right. Okay. So that's the last of the questions. So I'm going to give you another minute or so to get any more questions in before we finished this week's Q&A off. Quick reminder, if you haven't already done so, make sure you have subscribed here on YouTube. You can also find the podcast up here from yesterday. And as I said, check out my interview from earlier today with Gavin from Wedding Season, which is a brand new, the first British Disney Plus original special. Here we go. So Raphael said, last year's D23 Go members was so sweet with the Disney Plus lunchbox. I nearly pulled the trigger. I really pulled the trigger on that one. So this didn't look that hot, but the magazine, the Disney magazine is good. I like the pins because of the round the world thing, which I really liked. I really like that one. Tracy said, I hope we get a date for Bad Batch 2 at the D23. Hope you have a blast. I'm really looking forward to it. I literally was packing up my suitcase today, getting all my gear together, working out what I've got, what I need, if there's anything I need. I do wonder with Bad Batch 2 whether or not we're going to get that could be an announcement on Disney Plus Day. Dana says, heard you on the podcast talking about Canada. Have you been there? I have a summer place in New Brunswick as a set of my grandparents came from there. So I've been to Canada 4 times. So I've been to Toronto. My first time going there was I went for WrestleMania 18, which was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. So that was my first time to Canada. Loved it. So I went back the following year back to the Toronto area, did like Niagara Falls, and really enjoyed that area. So I spent about 2 weeks in Toronto. I also did a trip out to we went out to Edmonton, and then we did right through like Banff, Jasper, down to Calgary, and then we went over to Vancouver and did like Victoria Island. So I've spent a bit of time traveling around Canada. I love Canada. I think it's fantastic. I'm planning on going back at some point pretty soon to kind of do an Alaskan cruise up the coast at some point. But yeah, so I love Canada. And I feel like, you know, I notice on obviously with like doing this website and stuff, you know, you hear me talking about like Australia and New Zealand and Canada. It's because I have spent a lot of time there. I feel like I can talk about it a little bit more and like know it. But yeah, so definitely some interesting stuff there. Baba said, with the backlash with HBO Max and Discovery Plus being put into one app, will it be cancelled? I don't think it's a case of it being the backlash isn't necessarily, I think, about them being brought together. I think most people are quite happy with them coming together to have one app. I think the problem is on so many different levels of how they have treated HBO Max in terms of getting rid of all the originals didn't help. Getting rid of some library content hasn't helped, but also some of the like the way that they've kind of talked about different people and all the bits and pieces and how they define their audience. It's just alienated people because there is in some ways, there's such a big difference between Discovery users and HBO Max users. And the trouble is, it feels like they're trying to turn HBO like that into Discovery because it's cheaper, and it's kind of it's just not quite gelling right. I do think they've got time to get it sorted, but I think as long as you've got all the content that's there. Kelly said, "Are there any plans for podcast collaborations down the road?" Yeah, literally, we're supposed to be recording at some point. I'm going to message him to remind him. Yeah, we're going to be doing one with Casey from What's on Netflix. We're going to be doing one of them. We're also going to be doing one with Mo from the Streamer in a few weeks' time. So, yeah, we've got a couple of ones coming on in the future. Babatrona says, "Oh yeah, no, we did that one." Matt says, "Disney Plus is Blackish and Grownish, but where is Mixedish?" You know what? Mixedish, I think, would be actually probably one of the most suited ones for Disney Plus, because I think it's a really good one, because it's just about kids at school. It's very much family friendly. I mean, it does have a racial element to it, but I think that's it plays on it really good. I thought Mixedish was probably the softer of the three, because I mean, compare that to Grownish, there's very different tones. There might be some like issues and stuff with who's got the rights to. There might be some issue there, but I would really think that Mixedish should be on Disney Plus because it is really good. And Kelly said the backlash isn't really about the merging of the back; it's towards the CEO who's worse than Chapek and only marginally better than Vince McMahon. Yeah, the whole HBO system has been really bad this week. Right, okay, so that's going to be the end of this week's Q&A. Like I said, next week, we're going to be doing it a little bit different. I'm going to be going an hour earlier, and we're going to be doing a longer one. So it'll be a much longer episode. But we're going to be opening up to all subscribers. This is like our Disney Plus day D23 live stream. So we're going to do a little bit more. Open it all up to everyone. Patreon and YouTube subscribers, I'm still going to ask you for your questions in advance, so you still get to get your questions in, and obviously you can join in the live chat, and I'll be bringing you in. But yeah, we're going to do like a Disney. The next weekend is going to be like the Disney Plus day one, because I can't guarantee what the Wi-Fi is going to be like at the hotel, and how my time schedule and all. So we're gonna do the big like Disney Plus day one next Sunday, and then we'll be back then the following week. So thank you very much to everyone that is a subscriber. Thank you very much to everyone that's a YouTube channel member and Patreon. And on that note, guys, thank you very much, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.